Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus, again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. Many of you who have seen my posts recognize that I've indicated I want to be the next president of the United States of America, and I've given you why. But for those of you who haven't heard that, I want you to know that this is not just my first effort. And I don't want you to be misled. I don't want you to think that I'm some big shot. I'm no big shot. I'm just a hick. I'm just a nigger from Mississippi who have lived in this hell and fed up with it and want to get out of it by fixing it or leaving it. And what I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, is this, is that I've been here for 40 years, lifting up this spirit of peace and prosperity and freedom and joy of life and the fulfillment of your dreams. Running for president at least 5 or 6 times. And each time I told you I run on the truth of what I speak. And for those of you who wanted to grab it and run with it and make sure that it happens, and those of you who are misled, who can't see the light, will do exactly what you've been doing. However, I'm not switching, asking you for money to save you. No, I'm telling you the truth. You can rake it, take it, and use it if you can. But ladies and gentlemen, I do want you to know that I've spent, out of these 40 years, I've been on radio several times, once with a program called The Moment of Truth, another one called Love Ministry, another one called Life of Victory Eternal, another called Paradise on Earth Unlimited. I've spoken throughout these years. I've produced videos, CDs, whatever you has been available to me, cable access, travel the country, speaking to you about freedom and this love of life. And having run for president several times, United States Senate at least a couple of times, governor of the state of Minnesota, and mayor of 2 cities in the state of Minnesota. And if you go back and refresh yourselves to how the people have responded in these occasions that I've offered them to respond, you will find that people have ignored this message. I've gone to prison and jail several times trying to let that message be solidified in your minds. And this date, I can only say to you that for those people who have heard me, who have not had any faith in the message that I bring, and for those of you who hear me today and still have no faith in the message that I bring, I want you to know it is the message, a message about love and freedom, a message that requires that you play a part in, so you can't put that blame on anyone else. And I've done my part, and I'm still doing my part. And I want you to know that the response that I can recognize from all of you in America has been zero. I can only say that the hell that we stand in today is exactly what we deserve. It is a gift from God to let you know how far you are away from God. And I stand here today to tell you I'm fed up with this stuff. And I don't trust, look, I put it this way. Here's what I see about what has been identified as evil. I see that represented in the Republican Party, especially with that of Donald Trump. And I'm telling you my opinion. I'm not telling you the opinion of anyone else. But as far as I can see it, Donald Trump and all those that believe in Donald Trump are headed straight down to hell, where this is nothing. The pain and suffering is nothing. And that which he has promised those people that are supporting him is nothing compared to the hell they're going to get when they follow this man deep on to hell. And those of you who are allowing this to happen, like the Democrats, who have the opportunity at their disposal to use certain tactics to kind of hold this thing back and do something for the people, but who are trying to allow it to just pass for some old stupid reason, you are the ones that's perpetuating what this evil is all about. And I can't stand it. It is because of the conduct of the people of this country that makes me sick that I want to run for president. And why? On top of this conduct. Because deep in my heart, I believe every last one of you desire your dreams to come true. I believe every last one of you want food and clothing and shelter, education and health care, transportation, infrastructure, and stuff that you will never have to worry about. I believe that every last one of you got something inside of you, a career, something that you'd want to do as a human being on this earth that make you recognize your importance to be felt by the people of this nation and appreciated, and the benefits thereof entitles you and every last one of you to the gifts that you as human beings have created for one another. And don't listen to some liar coming around telling you you got to buy this stuff that they have stolen from you. They've stolen the oil, they've stolen the resources of the earth that God has given to all people and put their names on it. And then the Democrats, as far back from God as they are, offer to do some child care for you. Allow you to stay home when your kids are sick. Allow you to spend a little time after you've had your baby. Allow you to go to school without having to pay for it. And the rest of the country going hell-bent, saying no. And you accept this. Why do you accept this? Because you accept man's control over you than the power of God's love. That's why you accept it. And I'm not going to let anybody, and I'm talking to anybody that hears my voice and those of you who don't hear it, but who will hear perhaps sometime in the future, who walks after the devil, control me. No, because your death that you threaten me with and you threaten everybody that stands up with is an invitation to life as far as I'm concerned. And I say to everybody, to stand up against evil is an invitation to life. And I'm going to tell you a secret. I'm going to tell you a secret. In your understanding right now, you fear death. You look at pain that people go through when they're suffering from cancer. You listen to it, you watch it, and you would rather go through that than the thought of dying. You fear death. You fear death because death has been bred in you as the greatest bondage. And so you, not knowing the truth, will walk straight down into hell. What do I mean walk straight down into hell? I mean you pick up guns and walk out and shoot other people and kill them and put your life on the line and be killed by other people. Why? Because of your ignorance. If you knew life was at the door of death, born again, there's no way you would ever be controlled by evil. If being righteous led you to the door of life, it is the greatest gift that anyone could ever get. So I'm talking to you, ladies and gentlemen, like I'm trying to tell you, you got to be born again. And I'm talking to the church too. You got to be born again. I've been in you. I've been in you. You can't talk that stuff to me. I've been in all of you. I've listened to you. And you mean well, but you, as far as I can say, now this is my opinion based upon what I've been given, you are blind as a bat. Blind as a bat. Look at him. Look at me. You know yourselves, many of you think that Trump is on his way to hell. Right? The song went back. Put me back in the dark. And yet, this church that you advocate, walking straight down there with him, leading it, talking about God sent him, this demon from the pit of hell. Now, wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Don't be trying to censor me because I said this demon, this evilness. There's no reason to censor me for saying that. It is the will of God that evil be exposed. Lying and cheating is evil. Stuff that creates hatred and racism is evil. Now, you might say that the things that I say is creating hatred and racism from those who I said about. Think about that for a second. I think what they use on television all the time is bank robbing. And when they talk about Trump and his group, they talk about robbing the bank and get caught. Well, if someone is robbing the bank and I am a security guard and I stand back and say the bank is being robbed and I notify the public that the bank is being robbed and somebody come and interview me or I make a statement saying robbing the bank is evil and there are some bank robbers who were caught, they are evil, why you want to censor that? But you know, like the words that's used, is it true? Of course it's true. If it were not true, you wouldn't care. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm just saying to you, out of 40 years, I've spent a minute here, there has been many people who I've talked to who can agree with the conversation, but being committed to an action. And what is an action? Just resisting evil. Just resisting it and making evil expose itself against good. That's all. Resist evil and force evil to expose itself by dealing with good. Now, when you get to that point, you can't do it. And that's all. I understand that. You got to be born again to get there. But what I have done in the past is I try to hang around, hoping that one day you would be born again, and together we would be able to cause some real action here in America or in the world. But I've waited all these years, and you're not coming around. You brought Donald Trump into the White House, made him president of the United States, and now half of the nation going crazy, still telling every lie, doing everything they possibly can to make sure that he returns to the White House again. Can you imagine somebody? Now I'm not talking about Donald Trump right now. I just want you to imagine the devil that comes down. Let's put him in his horns and fork tail and stuff, so you know I'm not talking about Trump. And sit down on the throne, and he causes all evil that he possibly can on you, and somebody trying to put him in the White House to be president. What would you do? Go along with it? You know you would. But God offers you a chance not to. So take it for what it's worth, ladies and gentlemen. As far as I'm concerned, in this country, in these 40 years, I have been alone. One woman, Simone Addison. Simone, if you're living now, it's been over 20 years. I want you to know that I really do appreciate the efforts that you dedicated to the cause that I've spoken of. And I'm so sorry we had to split up. I'm so sorry you had to leave, but I know wherever you are, if you're still living, you haven't changed. You still on the battlefield. And I want you to know that I am glad, and I believe with all my heart that God is as well. Now, that was one person, Simone. Now, let me see if there's anybody else as far as this mission is concerned. I can't think of anybody, but just because I'm older and I probably have forgotten, I'm going to leave 3 or 4 spaces for some people that I might have forgotten. But I can't fill in the blanks right now. I can't think of anybody else. So aside from me and the spirit of love that I feel from God for me to express that same love to you, I'm out here alone. But I tell you what, it's one trip. I've been on a long time and I ain't giving it up. Until next time, this is Eddie Marcus saying goodbye.